Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to feature Tapu, Fini, Talonflame, and Trevenant. The Talonflame is going to be kind of hard to get. It is a level 50 maxed out Talonflame at 100%. But everything else on this team I think is fairly accessible. Here we have a great first matchup. The counters from this Haxorus are doing resisted. This Haxorus can know a wide range of moves actually. Serve, Breaking Swipe, Earthquake, Night Slash. So we let the first one go because we know we always survive it. They do end up having Earthquake, so they use all of their energy and they're gonna throw their Earthquake here. Here we're gonna be able to tank a Moonblast probably. Okay, Future Sight. The Future Sight there does hurt. So this team so far has been running some very unconventional movesets. Luckily we are able to tank most of them. We're going to go for the Shadow Ball here. This Shadow Ball should be a huge chunk of damage if they don't shield. Almost taking it out. Do we shield this next one? We decide not to shield this next one, and we're just going to allow them to throw this resisted Grass Knot. And then luckily for us, we're going to be able to farm it down with the Sliver of Health. We do have a move ready for whatever comes in. We're going to throw the Shadow Ball to either do some big damage or get a shield. So far, this Haxorus is protected by the tank of Cresselia, and then so they switch into their Walrein here. This is going to be interesting because this Walrein did get 2 Powder Snow advantage. We do have 2 shields here, so we got to play this pretty precise. They do throw Ice Cold Spear there. It does neutral damage. Here we're gonna have to shield. Our opponent is throwing on pretty ideal timing, so both of us here are just trying to get a bunch of these charge moves off to try to apply pressure. We're gonna go for the first flame charge. It does, I don't know, 10 to 15%, but now these incinerates are gonna be able to do more damage now. Both of us are trying to throw an optimal timing here. We're gonna be able to get to another flame charge here. We were always going to have to throw this regardless of which Pokemon came in. So now we decided to go for another flame charge here because they didn't review what their second move set was. We're assuming it's going to be Breaking Swipe, or it's probably going to be some kind of really cheap move. And so luckily for us, we were able to get this last flame charge because now they have to shield this one. We're going to immediately switch out because we knew that we had energy banked on our Tapu Fini, and we end up winning this game some way, somehow. GG's to our opponent right there. It was kind of a tricky backline there, and that Talonflame actually came in clutch, just powering through a bunch of neutral matchups. I want to say both of us played it pretty well, but we were able to save all that energy from that Tapu Fini at the beginning of the game and waste the last shield. So kind of a Talonflame end game right there. So here we go. Great lead here. Let's see what they're going to switch into. Okay. Oh, kind of a weird switch in for us because we actually don't really have a good counter to this Alolan Muck. They are going to be able to get to the first move. It could be the Acid Spray. It could be Dark Pulse. They ended up going for the Dark Pulse. Okay. And then here we're going to throw in a Brave Bird. But we're gonna throw a flame charge here. Let's see if they shield or not. No shield by my opponent, so my opponent has read me like a book right now. They're gonna be able to win this switch in if they decide to shield here. Indeed, they do. And now they're in total control. They can just farm us down. Great play by my opponent right there, forcing us to make the Brave Bird charge move, but we ended up not going for it, and we ended up getting farmed down. So now we're gonna have to deal with this Alolan Mug that's running this Poison Jab that's pretty good against our remaining 2 Pokemon. So our only hope here is to farm down this Alolan Mug and try to take advantage of the backline somehow, some way. So far, this Alolan Mug has only revealed that they have Dark Pulse, so they're probably running Dark Pulse and Sludge Wave. Here we decide to go for the Surf. We need to get shields out of the way because we know that this Obstagoon is going to destroy that Trevenant. Unfortunately, we were not able to get that last shield because they knew that they could survive a Moonblast. Obstagoon reveals that it has Night Slash here. And then we throw in CMP right here. Honestly, we should have gone for a Moonblast because we were at the move. So, okay, yeah, a little bit of a misplay there. I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to get to that Moonblast, but regardless, maybe we can farm this down. Oh gosh, okay, so this is just terrible for us. That this Obstagoon, Shadow Charizard, and a Alolan Muck, pretty solid team against ours. You can kind of understand our opponent's thinking with the team comp. The Obstagoon, weak to fighters, is protected by 2 anti-fighters, and I would say even 2 anti-charmers too. So GG's to our opponent right there. Unfortunately, Alolan Muck switching here was kind of a tricky one to deal with. Maybe in hindsight, we should have shielded that initial move from our opponent with the Alolan Muck. Even if it was the Acid Spray, maybe we would have been able to pressure them. But hindsight is 2020. So we move on to the next game. We are going to be facing a Walrein here. Okay, this is kind of a neutral matchup here, as both of us are doing resisted fast moves. None of us want to switch out, and probably rightfully so. I don't really want to switch out because even if I switch out to the Talonflame, I'll probably have a counter to it, and the Trevenant is not a great matchup against the Walrein, so we're just going to stick it out. We throw the Moonblaster. Let's see if they shield. They do end up shielding, so they are saying that they're committed to this matchup here. We know that they potentially have Earthquake, or they can have Icicle Sphere. Let's see what we do here. We end up shielding this one because we were still out of range of an Icicle Sphere, and we knew that it was likely they go for another Earthquake. Here we're going to go for another Moonblast. Are they going to invest 2 shields just for this Walrein? The answer is no. We don't get a debuff, and now it's just a matter of who wants this lead more. Our opponent throws the Icicle Sphere to try to get us to use the last shield. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen. And then here we're just trying to do this last bit of damage here. This Tapu Fini ends up getting either this last shield or winning the lead. Perfect. And now we're almost guaranteed to be able to get an advantage. Okay, perfect. And then we know that they're going to counter swap, and this Shadow Charizard here is going to be able to outpace us to the move. We can survive any move being thrown here, so we let the first one go. We know that they don't want to see this Talonflame against that Swampert, so we're going to throw a bait Flame Charge here. Okay, perfect. And then here we're debating whether to shield this or not. We did get an Incinerate through, so will we commit a shield just for this? The answer is no. Okay, and then now it's just a race to the Shadow Ball. They do get to another move. Regardless of what they throw here, we need to invest the shield because we need to keep this Trevenant healthy enough to where it's out of range of this Swampert. It is a Shadow Swampert, I believe. So we want to keep this Trevenant healthy enough to, just in case it's out of a range of maybe like a Sludge Wave or anything, but we are going to be able to outpace them to a potential Sludge Wave. So even if they had a Sludge Wave, this Seed Bomb here should take it out because of its Shadow and because of the extra Shadow Claws that we did here. So boom! We take out this Shadow Swampert. I think they had a triple Shadow team. They had the Charizard, they had the Swampert, right? So very I guess the Walrein wasn't. I'll have to go back and watch it, but like that was a pretty spicy team in the back right there. All right, next game we have the Machamp, Ultra League Machamp, not even Shadow. Okay, so you don't really see these that often. Oh, unfortunately for them, we have just an absolute hard counter to their first 2 Pokemon, and they just give up. I guess they just didn't see a lot of Talonflames, and because their first 2 Pokemon are kind of weak to the Talonflame right there. GG's to our last opponent right there. Just a hard counter team, unfortunately. But kudos to the Spice. That was interesting. Kudos to them for trying to bring in some spice. All right, Nidoqueen. Oh, another terrible lead that we have to deal with. I mean, we don't really want to be switching out, So we're just going to throw this Surf and see if they're going to shield or not. This Surf at least is going to be able to do some super effective damage. They do decide to shield. They're building up a ton of energy. Now, Ultra League, Nidoqueen potentially could have a bunch of moves. They could be running the Stone Edge version or the Earthquake. We don't really know. They go for the Earthquake right there to take us out. So, interesting. Here what happens is we go in with our Talonflame, thinking that they are running the Earthquake and Poison Fang variant, but boom, we get surprised by a Stone Edge. So shout out to our opponent for running that. Obviously this is going to be a loss. We got surprised. Definitely was not anticipating them running the Earthquake Stone Edge movement. I definitely was hoping, obviously it didn't happen, but I was definitely hoping they were running the Earth Power and Poison Fang version. But the counter that we have for the Nidoqueen actually got taken out, and so this is just technicality at this point. This is going to be a loss. This Trevenant is not going to be able to power through this obstacle no matter how many shields you have here, unless they just lag out. But nice moveset by our opponent. The Nidoqueen is always a tricky one to manage in Ultra League. I've seen Poison Fang paired with Stone Edge, or even Poison Fang paired with Earth Power. Them going for the Earth Power initially was such a smart move because it hid away their other secondary charge move, and so I kind of had to take a chance and assume that they were running the Earth Power and Poison Jab version, but unfortunately did not call that correctly, and they just surprised me and took out my Talonflame in one shot. So in the end here, we faced another Trevenant. So yeah, GG's to our opponent right there. Check out this team and let us know if you enjoy it.